Steels can be classified on the basis of carbon content in this way. First is low carbon steel, which is also known as mild steel or structural steel, because the steel is useful for making the items related to the structural purposes. The range of carbon content will be 0 to 0.3%. Second is medium carbon steel. The range of carbon content will be 0.35 to 0.6%. It is also called as machinery steel because many parts of the machine are made out of this medium carbon steel. And third one is high carbon steel, which will have carbon content between 0.65 to 2%. It is also known as tool steel. High carbon steel is also known as tool steel because it is useful to make the tools. Tools are of two types. First one is shaping tool and second one is cutting tool. So both kinds of tools are made out of high carbon steel. So these are the three other kinds of classification of plain carbon steel. In low carbon steel, maximum carbon content is 0.3. How can we remember the range of carbon content in low, medium and high? You may remember only the max range. 0.3 max carbon in low carbon, 0.6 max carbon in medium and 2% max in high carbon. 0.3, 0.6, 2. 0 to 0.3 low carbon. Now in the maximum range of low carbon you just get 0.05, 0.35 to 0.6 medium, and similarly 8.05 to maximum range of medium, 0.65 to 2. So these are the range of carbon content in low, medium and high. Now we have to look at the properties of the different phases. As in the beginning of the unit 2, I had discussed about the relationship between properties and structure. Why the different materials show different kinds of properties. Some are very soft, some are very hard in nature. It is due to their own internal structure. So if the structure has high amount of short phase content like alpha, alpha is the softest phase obtained on iron carbide diagram. Why? It has got very low carbon content. That's why it is considered to be the purest form of iron on iron carbide diagram. Cementite is the hardest phase obtained on the diagram because it has 6.67% carbon. And as far as perlite is concerned, it is the eutectide mixture of ferrite and cementite. So it will have the combined effect of softness and hardness. So what is the net result? The perlite is very tough. It is having high, the 0.8% carbon corresponds to 100% perlitic structure, is said to be have highest toughness among all plain carbon steels. So after getting a rough idea regarding the properties of these different phases, now as per their amount present in the microstructure, we can make the conclusion about the expected mechanical behavior or properties. Low carbon steels, take the example of 0.2% carbon. 0.2% carbon will belong to low carbon steel. It has 75% primary ferrite and 25% perlite. Ferrite is very soft. So overall properties of low carbon steel will be it, it will be very soft and ductile. It can be easily subjected to plastic deformation. So for making wires, sheets, gas cylinder, angle, channel, beam, rods, automobile bodies, low carbon steel is preferred, which is also known as mild steel, or it is also known as structural steel. This angle, channel, beam, rod, these are all useful for the structural purposes. Wires and sheets of low carbon steel are made by cold working procedure, which is conducted below the recrystallization temperature. While angle, channel, beam, rod, etc. are produced by the hot working procedure. But in any way, whether you are subjecting it to cold working or hot working, plastic deformation is essential. So the material which can be easily plastically deformed, then only these useful products can be made. So these are the few applications of low carbon steel, which requires very good plasticity to give them the desired size and shape. Next is medium carbon steel. As its name indicate, it will have medium properties in between low and high. Its carbon content is also medium in between low and high. So it has little what more perlite content than low carbon steel. So this steel is useful where no specific properties required, neither too much ductility nor too much strength nor too much hardness, wherever medium properties are required, like for making nuts, bolts, gears, shafts, axles, connecting rods. So these all are useful in machinery, hence it is called machinery steel. So you must have get an idea about why medium carbon steel is also termed as machinery steel. Next is high carbon steel, which is also known as tool steel. So as I was discussing about the two categories of the tools, first one is shaping tool and second is cutting tool. For shaping tool, like hammers, anvils, punch, dies, we require the tool or device must have very good toughness. And as we have seen, 100% perlitic structure corresponding to 0.8% carbon will have highest toughness. So the range of carbon content will be 0.7 to 0.9, that is near to 0.8. That is near to 0.8. So 0.7 to 0.9% carbon from the category of high carbon steel, because the range of high carbon steel is 0.65 to 2. So initial range of carbon content 0.7 to 0.9, it is selected for making shaping tool because it will have very good toughness. If the carbon content is increased, then the hardness will also increase. Why? Because the amount of cementite will increase. Above 0.8, up to 0.8, there was no primary cementite. And if the carbon content is more than 0.8 or 1.2, 1.6, primary cementite will also come in the microstructure along with perlite. And as we know that cementite is the hardest phase, So due to having more hardness, which is required for making cutting tool, like your saws, blades, reamers, cutters. So for all these items we need, our device must have more hardness, more wear resistivity, more cutting ability. So cementite, the presence of cementite will be helpful to increase the wear resistivity, hardness and cutting ability. So range of carbon content for cutting tool will be 0.9 to 1.6, more than 0.9, and up to it may be 1.6. It is best suitable for making cutting tools. Practically, in some books you will find 1.8% carbon or 2% carbon as the maximum range of carbon for high carbon steel. But in the practical life, it is observed that rarely any plain carbon steel is used having more than 1.2% carbon.